If you've ever been to the downtown street fair, you probably already know her work. You might even own a pack of her watercolor greeting cards that feature Fargo-Moorhead landmarks. Valley News team Steve Poitras and photographer Wade Iverson are doing double duty today, taking cover indoors now to introduce us to one of the Valley's most popular artists. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Darren. Yes, indeed. We're with Ellen Diederich. Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning.
I believe this is just going to be wonderful. A lot of people on a wintry morning and snow, but we've got all this sort of array of color with all of your works, and we're going to take a good look at them this morning, right?
Yes. One thing I like about winter is I can hide in here and paint.
You certainly are familiar with your art, loves it. So we're going to Wade right now. Well, anyway, you mostly have worked in watercolor, but of late you're getting into acrylics, right?
Yep, I just started doing them, and every once in a while I have to hide one away because they're pretty bad sometimes.
Well, we're going to get to know Ellen better and a lot of her art here as the morning goes on. We're in her studio in South Fargo, so till a little bit later. For now, for the Valley Today, I'm Steve Poitras.
All right, inside a good place to be now. All right, Steve, thanks. Well, her love of art started in grade school, and by age 17, her mind was made up. And now Ellen Diederich is one of the most accomplished and popular artists in our area. And this morning, Steve Poitras and photographer Wade Iverson visiting with Ellen in her South Fargo studio. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Darren. Yes, we say good morning. Ellen, it's so good to see you.
Yes.
And your studio, that is, one would wonder, how did you ever find the time in your life to produce as many works? But you paint every day, right?
Right. Every day from about 2 to 5, maybe 6 if Paul's out partying or something.
Well, there's so many. Wade's taking a look at some of your works over here. You work in two main type of media, acrylic and water. That's a snowy watercolor right there that he's focusing on right now. Can we assume this is in Fargo?
That's actually in Moorhead, kitty corner of Concordia.
Very good. Where you spent some time at school and then in art at Moorhead State.
Yes.
Taught for a while and then basically been a commercial art. I mean, an artist whose works are popular and sell since about '85. You say?
Yeah. Well, it was a slow start. You know, you kind of get out there, and I used to get 1 out of 10 when I first started, and then I got up to 5 out of 10. Now I get about 4 out of 5.
Wow. Well, you know, this looks beautiful here, and people will recognize it as the depot on the north end of Broadway. But you say this isn't done yet.
Right. This is an acrylic, and I'm not as confident with acrylic, but I really like what I'm doing with it. I'm having a little trouble with the sky, so I'm learning about blending paints, so I'm like a beginner again. It's pretty exciting.
Well, it's just it's a treasure house of paintings, wonderful paintings. We'll be back and visit more, but in contrast, this is a watercolor of downtown Fargo has been a recurring theme with much of your work, right, Ellen? Okay. We'll be back and visit with Ellen and take a look at more of her wonderful works here in her studio in South Fargo. For now, for the Valley Today, I'm Steve Poitras.
Okay, Steve, thank you very much. She's so humble, but she's very talented. Very, very good work. And,
you know, on the road to greatness, self-deprecation goes a long way.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, a sense of humor helps.
Yeah, but
That's true.
She's humble and she's very good, very good. Right. All right, well,
We're getting a look at some of her work this morning as Valley News team Steve and Wade talk with the artist in her South Fargo home. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Darren, and we say good morning, Ellen Diederich. And I think we picked a really good morning to come over here with all this wonderful, bright array of color with the art of Ellen on this snowy first day of winter morning. Now, again, watercolor and acrylic, the main media that you work in. We thought we'd give people a chance to look at some. I know the themes, people love them. For instance, we start right here with this watercolor. Obviously, people are going to recognize it's Broadway, downtown Fargo, right?
Yes, one is called the Fargo Blues, and I mean, you know, you can take a lot of liberty as an artist. I made the street really wide so I could go back farther, and I was really impressed at how big these buildings are. And I got to take this from the Ford building, so I got to look down, and it's not very often you get to look down on anything in Fargo.
That's right. Okay, and I think this is also downtown Fargo.
Yeah, this right on the street, very popular. There's big originals at the State Bank, Fargo in the lobby. If you ever want to see it, it's an amazing piece.
Okay, and next, I think people will recognize, a lot of people will recognize that house.
This is a house on A Street. This is a Frederickson's house, and they commissioned me to paint it, and I used it in my Where's Petunia book for where the cats live.
People will be amazed about how how much color you incorporate into that, but it all works. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's just fun. I put a grid of color over it, and like this one, I had lined up my photographs, and I didn't had some weird perspective thing, and I put the grid right on and used it to just, break up the house. It was fun for color.
All right, and you spent time on the farm growing up, so here's a farm theme, I guess.
Yes, we had the hay bales. We used a pitchfork, and I would ride behind and use the hay machine. And
This was on a farm near Staples, Minnesota?
Yes, we didn't get this fancy, but this is kind of fun. This is called contemporary farming. I call it contemporary because they're the round bales.
Yeah, the big round bales. You can't throw those by hand. People will recognize this fine old edifice.
Yes, St. Luke's. This is Merit Care had me commission this for their 100th anniversary. And you can see that at the hospital.
All right. Well, we're going to come back and visit some more, visit with Ellen, see some more of her works. Everything can be checked out. Your website is givinity.com.
Yep.
Divinity with a G.
Yep,
And-
GIVINITY.com.
And around town, you'll find your work at the Underbrush Gallery, and lots of wonderful different greeting cards. This one features St. Mary's Cathedral, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll be back again later with Ellen Diederich and taking a look at all her wonderful art here this morning. For the Valley Today, I'm Steve Poitras.
It's nice to see our landmarks in warmer temperatures in that art. All right,
Yes.
Steve. Thank you.